For the first time ever, the world leaders of the Vincentian family are meeting in Rome to celebrate their 400 years of their charism. The Vincentian family is made up of 150 branches of lay associations and congregations. It consists of 2 million members in more than 150 countries. The organization began with St. Vincent de Paul in 1617. One of their main initiatives is the Famvin Homeless Alliance, an international charity supporting homeless and marginalized people. Mark McGreevy, International Coordinator of the Famvin Homeless Alliance, joins us now from Rome. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Can you explain to us some concrete projects the Famvin Homeless Alliance is working on right now?
Yeah, well, this all started around about 400 years ago with Vincent de Paul in 1643. He was faced with lots of orphans on the street of Paris, about 1,800 orphans on the street. He wanted to do something about it, and as luck would have it, Louis XIII left him the equivalent of $1 million in his will. And with that, he bought 13 houses in Paris to house these young children and babies, and managed to pretty much resolve the problem in Paris of these children sleeping on the streets. And what we're doing 400 years later to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the charism of Vincent de Paul is we're building 13 houses in 151 countries in which the Vincentian family works across the world.
That's wonderful. Mark, there are 1.3 billion people living on the street or in unsuitable housing around the world, and about 100 million with no housing at all. What are the biggest obstacles that you face in finding places for all these people?
Well, generally, it's a mixture of things. I mean, when we look at that figure of 1.2 billion, around 860 million of them are slum dwellers. And for them, it's a question of what we can do to make those slums habitable, to build proper housing for people. In relation to refugees, 70 million refugees across the world, it's a different problem. We've got to think about what we can do to empty these camps and give people a secure place to live and to welcome them where we can into the countries where they can have a place of safety. For street homeless people, it's a really, really mixed answer, this one. We have to think about the individual in front of us. Everybody has a different story, whether it's somebody with an alcohol problem, somebody with a mental health problem, a young person that's run away. So the more that our services can be flexible to meet those needs, the more that we can help them.
Okay, one quick last question before we let you go. This global meeting in Rome is a historic event for the Vincentian family. What opportunities have you been discussing for the future?
Well, we're talking about the fact that at the moment the world is changing, and the same is true of the Vincentian family. So our opportunities in relation to Europe and to America is, we're looking to make sure that as maybe religious orders decline in numbers, we maintain these great works of charity and the spirituality that underpins them into the future. But in relation to Asia, to Africa, to other parts of the world, the church is growing. And we have a real opportunity to make sure that we're part of that growth and make sure that we serve the poor in those countries as well.
Wonderful. Well, Mark McGreevy, International Coordinator of the Famvin Homeless Alliance, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.